We've gained contact on a orange cruiser, heavy cruiser. Our goal is to engage him with torpedoes and sink him.
They live underwater in the cramped quarters of a steel tube for weeks at a time, serving in silence aboard a nuclear attack submarine. In tonight's Extra, we'll take you as close to living aboard a nuclear submarine as you'll ever get without enlisting.
The USS Minneapolis St. Paul is based in Norfolk, Virginia, and we caught up with a crew on duty in the Atlantic. Tonight, travel hundreds of feet below the ocean's surface aboard one of the Navy's most dangerous weapons and run silent, run deep. Here's Carol 11's Alan Costantini.
Man battle station control, sonar and torpedo room. Man battle station.
Fix tubes 3 and 4 ready in all respects. Coming out, coming out. We've gained contact on a orange cruiser, heavy cruiser. Our goal is to engage him with torpedoes and sink him.
The nuclear attack submarine USS Minneapolis St. Paul is at maximum alert.
Coordinator sonar.
Sonarman Jeffrey Harvey of Milltown, Wisconsin, tracks the enemy ship. Torpedoman Matthew Larkin of Minneapolis guides the 17-foot torpedo into the tube.
Mark, velocity sensor switches up.
Fire control begins to plot solutions, paths for the torpedoes to their targets.
Solution ready. Target, range, mark, down scope. Stand by. Fire. Torpedo course 298, run to enable 8,200 yards.
All of this, of course, is a drill. It's what submariners do. They practice war.
So sometimes they got to watch for incoming weapons now.
150 men confined for weeks and even months inside a submerged steel tube, 33 feet wide, 390 feet long. Their world has 3 major concerns: space, quiet, and fire.
Okay, let's advance on the fire. Training to fight a fire on board a submarine begins long before the crew ever goes to sea. After losing some personnel in fires on board the USS Bonefish and the USS Stark in the 1980s, the Navy built this multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art facility here at the Naval Submarine Training School in Groton, Connecticut.
Okay, all the way to the top, work it side to side. You always want to start at the top and work it side to side because that fire is only going to go up. For cooling and shielding, so if you got a fire in the torpedo room, you want to keep the weapons full, you use a low-velocity fog pattern. Okay?
All submariners learn to fight fire with seawater and chemicals, often linked together with air hoses that draw oxygen from valves placed around the ship. Does this trainer seem claustrophobic to you? This is a real machinery space on the Minneapolis St. Paul.
If we had a real fire and we, for some reason, couldn't use our low-pressure blower, we could align the diesel to take a suction in that compartment and take all the exhaust, the contaminated air that we need to breathe, and get rid of it.
Even on this atomic-powered boat, there is a standby diesel engine. It's packed into a room where they make breathing oxygen from seawater by running electrical current through it. Air, water, and nuclear fuel are no problem.
Deep-fat fried shrimp, we've got chili macaroni.
Human fuel is the crucial item on a long undersea patrol. When the crew sits down to eat today's dinner, they are sitting on tomorrow's lunch.
Each bench is filled with food. In between the benches is filled with food. On the outside of the benches is filled with food. And when we go to load out, sometimes we even have to walk on it.
The crew's mess seats just 24, so the men eat 4 meals a day in shifts. The food is basic, but there's plenty of it.
We don't make you lay low, we get Ringo to handle.
The mess is more than a dining room. It's also the theater for watching taped movies.
Fills in through your 2 drain lines.
The classroom for the constant teaching as sailors qualify for higher ranks and earn their dolphins, the submariner's unique insignia.
Stoney, really proud of you. There you go.
To wear the dolphins, the crew member must learn everyone else's job. Those skills could be vital in battle when casualties could knock out part of the crew.
The men of the submarine service.
There's almost no privacy on a submarine other than drawing the curtain on the bunks, which are stacked 3 high for the crew.
I'll go ahead and crawl in here. About enough for a 6-foot individual, not much more than that, or you have to kind of curl up a lot.
Lieutenant John Carpentier of Waverly, Minnesota, shows how some crew members get to their bunks, under the torpedoes.
I don't think I could roll over in here.
There is a cult of quiet on the sub. Machinery sits on rubber sound insulators. The decks themselves are connected to the hull with rubber clips. And signs everywhere remind sailors of the old Navy slogan that loose lips sink ships. The drive for silence applies even in the heads, the toilets.
And it has a little sign back here, lower seat after each use, and the reason we're concerned about that is because if you leave the seat up and it flaps down, another submarine could hear that outside the water and it could get us detected.
There is no other machine in the world longer than a football field, wider than a mobile home, and quieter than the family car. But there are times when noise is not a concern.
Surface, surface, surface.
This is a submarine's most dramatic maneuver, the emergency blow. Air is forced into the ballast tanks, and the ship flies toward the surface from hundreds of feet down in less than a minute.
Full rise, both planes, full rise, full rise.
Such is the power of these vessels that are so feared in modern warfare. Alan Costantini, KARE 11 News, on board the USS Minneapolis St. Paul.
The sub will begin a patrol of the North Atlantic in April, and for that mission, the sub will remain submerged for up to 3 months.
Tomorrow we'll look at the incredible power of this giant weapon of war.
This torpedo goes underneath the ship, senses when it's underneath, and blows the water out, and the weight of the ship will collapse the ship's back and causing it to break up and sink.
A dramatic look at sub-warfare, the decision we'll all have to make about the high price of the submarine fleet tomorrow at 10.
Dive.
Thanks a lot, Jai.
It's America's original stealth weapon, roaming the world virtually unseen with a Minnesota namesake. The USS Minneapolis St. Paul is one of America's few dozen nuclear attack submarines.
But tighter budgets and military cutbacks are putting the future of America's subfleet in doubt. In tonight's Extra, KARE 11's Alan Costantini takes us on a rare tour of the submarine and shows us the awesome power of this giant weapon of war.
On deck, sounding the whistle. Cast off 2 and 3. Get that ready to throw it off. Bridge topside, we have all personnel on board.
A nuclear submarine may fight a war or enforce a peace, but it can't stop the snow of a nor'easter.
Bridge topside lines 2 and 3 are single.
The USS Minneapolis St. Paul and her 150-man crew need to get the giant attack submarine underway as quickly as possible, but the sailors are cautious. The non-skid deck surface is slippery with New England ice. As the submarine's speed leaves the harbor tug behind, the crew retreats into the turtle shell of the ship. The eyes of the ship are now the periscopes sighting on landmarks.
We've already passed the green blue. We just passed the green blue.
And the captain bundled in an exposure suit keeping watch from his perch on the submarine's steel sail. The danger to the warship is minimal, but her hull, snagged in a fishing net, would quickly pull a trawler under the waves. The Minneapolis St. Paul is almost 400 feet long, but she can be very hard for other ships to see. After all, the submarine is the original stealth weapon.
Most of the ship has tiles, acoustic tiles, the pieces of rubber about an inch thick, glued to the sides of the ship. That keeps in our own noise, and it makes us invulnerable to sonars from other submarines that may be transmitting on us.
And there is the incredible device called a towed array. Stored in the hump running down the starboard side, it extends thousands of feet behind the sub, a giant hearing aid for the ears of the sonarmen.
Initial classification is surface contact, analyzing.
Trained to separate warships from whales, large from small, slow from fast, all by sound.
Set up to load, 1 AdCap Mark 48, warside tube 1.
One important role is guiding the lethal $2 million AdCap torpedoes to the target, which is the space directly under another ship.
So we're not trying to punch a 21-inch hole into the side of the ship. This torpedo goes underneath the ship, senses when it's underneath, and blows the water out, and the weight of the ship will collapse the ship's back and causing it to break up and sink.
Sub land. This is USS Minneapolis St. Paul, over.
On the surface, the radio room is a busy place, with teletype and voice messages. But even when the ship is submerged, she can be contacted. Using the towed array, radio can receive ELF, extremely low-frequency messages from, of all places, Wisconsin.
Dive! Dive!
Thanks a lot, Jai. Full dive in the stern plane. Establish a 3 down.
Effortlessly, the great ship slips quietly down to 150 feet below the surface and deeper.
Helm, all ahead flank cavitate.
The exact top speed of the ship is classified. Officially, it simply goes faster than 25 knots, about 30 miles per hour.
And we've just passed through 25 knots now, accelerating to the ship's maximum speed. We're still at a depth of 550 feet right now. Now, older ships would be rattling and shaking quite a bit at this speed. These newer 688 submarines are a much smoother ride at the high speed, and this is as fast as an American submarine can go right here.
Ship is secure for rig for deep submersion.
It's not just speed that makes the submarine so formidable. She can run very deep, far in excess of the 800 feet the Navy admits to.
Pull down, Fairway. There's 5 down.
Very well dived.
From such depths, the Minneapolis St. Paul can patrol the oceans unseen and undetected,
Prepare to surface.
then rise to battle station depth armed with her mines, torpedoes, harpoon, and tomahawk missiles.
Then I watch 2-3.
She is the ultimate platform for high-tech conventional warfare.
Shoot.
As impressive as this vessel is, the question being raised in military think tanks and in Congress is, in the wake of the end of the Cold War, does the United States still need to maintain such a large fleet of nuclear submarines like the Minneapolis St. Paul?
Yeah, the enemy thing is still there. It's these other countries that have their diesel submarines. It's Russia still that has a very potent, capable submarine force.
Russian submarines of late have been making their presence known, following American warships and patrolling near American naval bases. The Pentagon uses such incidents to call for the completion of new Seawolf-class attack submarines. This is the first such warship, still in the graving docks at the Electric Boat Company in Groton. The price tag, $2.4 billion.
Remember when you line up with civil shows, you got to really work to get in there, navigate.
This alarms those who argue America can afford to trim its submarine fleet, but the submariners argue their presence is political necessity. Alan Costantini, KARE 11 News, on board the Minneapolis St. Paul.
The new Seawolf attack submarine goes to sea for the first time this month. The Navy originally planned to purchase 30, but will now only buy 3. Instead, it will begin building a smaller and